Hey, this is Anna with the CSSE1001 and sem2 Assignment 2 for Semester 2 2017. With this assignment we'll be playing a Scrabble game, so here's the rules. If you don't understand what Scrabble is, play with friends, it's pretty cool. I'll have a quick show of you what the game is. So, with this game you'll need to write an a2.py like you did for Assignment 1, but if you want to see the fancy user interface with the board and making the game words and stuff, just run Scrabble GUI. Let's play the game. So first things first is that we have 3 players up the top: Jim Halpert, Dwight, and Michael Scott. So when we play it, we have a player, Jim Halpert, has a rack, and each rack has tiles in it. Right, so he should make a word with it. So I'm going to make the word age. Cool. Let's play that. Cool. And goes to the next person in the game. Cool. Then I'm like, let's make another word if I can. Okay, so now I'm gonna make the word. I feel like it's a good word. Let's play it. So the way scoring works is, say N's 1 letter. Sorry, 1 point, and A is 1 point, so therefore adding a total to 2. So add it to the score. Okay, keep going on. If we say can't make a word, I'm like, I don't know any words in this thing, I can just simply go click on a whole bunch of things, go, I don't want these letters, swap it, yes, I get new letters, and it goes to the next player. Cool. Now I'm going to make this word fuse. So here you can see there's a whole bunch of things like letter times 3, letter times 2, and word times 2 and 3. What these things are bonuses. So you have a letter bonus, which is your timing your letter, and you have a word bonus, which is your timing your word. How it works is, for example, I'm going to put my U, which is worth 1 point, onto letter times 3. So now it's worth 3 times that amount, so 3 points. So the way score is going to work is 4 plus 3, because it's on a bonus, remember, which is 7, 8, and 9. Let's play it. There you go, without a 9. There should be another tile in here, which is a question mark, worth 0 points. And how it works is you can put it on the board anywhere, and you can type in your letter, and it's like a magical letter. You can choose any letter you want, but it's worth 0 points. That is the game, and hopefully that has helped in your understanding. If you want to reference if you want to reference a square or a location on the board, the way we're going to do it is it's going to be a tuple with the coordinates. So top left hand corner is going to be 0, 0. So 0th column, 0th row, 0th column. 0th row, first column. 0th row, second column. Next is the files, getting started. So you have a whole bunch of files, but I'd recommend, so with here, you'll need to write all your code into a2.py. You'll need to test your code in a2.py. So if you want to go and test each individual method, do it in a2.py. But to see that board, like I was doing earlier and playing the game, you'll need to use Scrabble_GUI. Anything with these asterisks on it, you don't need to know like every single line by line what it does. But you need to know it exists and its main purpose. Down here we have a class UML diagram. So people are going to be in pracs going, what is a UML diagram? What is this trying to say? This is just to help further and extend your knowledge. So if you understand what a UML diagram is, great. If you don't, long story short, you have 2 different types of arrows. So you have your closed arrows with this word extends on it, and all it's saying is that letter bonus inherits from bonus. So as we're going to do in week 8, letter bonus is the subclass, bonus is the superclass. These open head arrows, so the ones with that don't have the word extends on it, basically I like to think of them has got, is what it means. So tire bag has got tiles, player has got tiles, board has got bonuses. That is what the UML diagram is. What these squares are classes. So anything blue is what you need to write. Anything red is what we've given to you in the support files. And also there's just a little sentence about what the thing is doing. This might be helpful in keeping in mind in what inherits from what. Cool. Now, let's go to the next session, the nitty-gritty code area. So, I'm going to warn you now, this assignment is a massive step up from assignment 1. It will take you 2 times longer, 3 times longer easily. It's a lot of classes to write and a lot of methods to write. So, I'd recommend doing it chronologically in order. So, tackle 3, like section 3 first, then do section 4, then do section 5. Once you've got 3.1 written, tested, and you know it works, go to 3.2. Once you've tested that, go to 3.3. Sorry, or no, 4. My bad, 4. This will really help simplify and help your understanding and progress through the assignment. So I'm going to, you might have noticed that during these videos, I will get less hands-on with explaining what each class does and what each method does. You guys will need to read that yourself, but also now since you've had some experience with assignment 1, hopefully you'll be able to start taking the reins and driving the car. So tile class is going to be fairly simple. You have a couple getter methods and a reset method, but you also have a string and a wrapper method. What these do, and what we've been saying in tutorials, is write your wrapper method the minute your class looks kind of like it's what it's meant to be. If you want to start debugging your code, being able to see what it is really helpful. So you can just go do the wrapper, and then you might see the letter and you can see the score and whatnot. So it could help debug your code. Okay, then you get your wildcard. Here's some tests. Test it yourself. Test each method. Test each class. And you have bonuses section. Bonus is actually 3 classes. So bonus class is going to be your super class, right? And your word bonus and your letter bonus is going to be your subclasses. So word bonus inherits from bonuses, and letter bonus inherits from bonus as well. So keep that in mind when you're writing each of the 3 classes. Also, if you're not 100% sure what I mean by super or sub or inheritance, have a look at the course notes, read the lectures, and week 8 is going to be talking about inheritance. Oh, week 8 sheet, sorry. Week 8 sheet is going to be talking about inheritance. Cool. Now we have the player class, the tile bag class, and the board class. I'm going to warn you now that these classes, these 3 last ones, are going to be the ones that take most of your time in writing this assignment. They're a lot bigger when it comes to what we ask for methods, but also they're going to be using classes inside each other. So a tile bag will have tiles in it, and a board will have bonuses in it, right? So keep that in mind. Also, something I want to mention about the player class is that think about what needs to be a self._ variable, which is a class variable, or it needs to just be a normal standard variable like you did in assignment 1. So class variables are pretty handy when you start seeing things like, for example, rack. This rack is needed in several places. For example, get rack score. Add a tile, remove a tile from your rack. Reset your rack, I believe. Yep. Right, so when you start seeing that, consider what needs to be a self._ variable and what needs to be just standard a non-class variable. Cool. So assessment and submission, read that, it's pretty important. Okay, and let's move on to the last section, assessment and marking criteria. So, assessment-wise, in the marking criteria, it's very similar to assignment 1. You have your functionality marks and you have your style and documentation marks. So, functionality-wise, it's broken down into classes. It's going to be worth 16 marks of your assignment. The assignment's out of 20, by the way. Notice how that, like say your tile class and your bonus class, is only worth 1 mark out of 16. But your player and your board class, especially with 7 marks of the 16, it's nearly 50% of the functionality marks. So it suggests that board, play, and tile bag will be a fair bit of the assignment. So don't leave those to the last minute, is what I'm trying to say. It's a big assignment. Again, you have your style and your documentation marks. So your style marks and your documentation. So with your style marks, Same as last time, so program is well structured. What we're saying here is spaghetti code, so make sure all your logic is in one area. That makes sense. But also, if you have, say, a while loop inside a for loop, inside an if loop, inside another if statement, not if loop, an if statement, that suggests that there's a lot of nesting, and you want to go, cool, how can I simplify my code? How can I remove some of these nesting inside each other kind of things? Variable function names, we've got a lot of variables now, so consider what your variable names are called. Don't give them one letter variable names, but also think about what should be class variables and what should not be. So these self.underscores. Finally, entire program is documented without excessive and extraneous comments. Basically, as long as you do the doc strings like how we ask in the course notes, you should be good to go. Again, there are fairly simple 2 marks out of 20 for your assignment 2. It's just documentation. Last things last is, not sure if I already mentioned it, but you might see these like highlighted lines or highlighted words in your assignment. What's happening here is that we're getting a lot of questions in pracs. It might suggest that something's not as clear, right? So instead of constantly answering the same question that you guys have, we've updated the spec throughout the assignment just to help clarify and understand, help your understanding of the assignment. So I'd recommend have a look at the assignment spec every now and then just to see if we added anything. Cool. Hopefully that's been helpful with your assignment 2 for CSSE1001 sem2. Good luck, and I hope it goes well.